Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, if you are interested to figure out the truth of who you are, to see the unchanging nature in yourself, then here's a simple path. Just sit with yourself and meditate on yourself. Meditate on yourself without the techniques. Meditate on yourself without controlling your body, without controlling your breath, without controlling the mind, without adding any mental focal point. Sit with yourself and just simply witness yourself. Be aware of yourself. So that is the start to figure out the truth of who you are. Sitting lonely without a mental attachment. Now, some of you can definitely sit with yourself for certain time. But after meditating on yourself for a certain extent, how come you are not able to see the unchanging truth within? The failure to recognize the truth, the failure to see the truth, is because not able to dismantle the mind. That's the reason. Lack of self inquiry, which is dismantling the mind, is a failure to see the truth. Right now, who we are is the identification with the mind, isn't it? When you ask ourselves, who am I? We identify ourselves with a certain belief, certain ideas. That's what we think we are. But that thinking, what we think of who we are, is the persona that we carry to participate in the world. That is just the extension in us. But that extension is not the true self, not the authentic self, not the truth. That the truth is actually the background that allows you to see the mind, to see your fear, to see your attachment, to see your fluctuation. When you are scared, afraid, you know that you're scared, isn't it? Or when you having fun, when you see something is making you happy, you see that things are making you happy. So truth is that background that makes you see the joy and the pain. And journey, this real spiritual journey is about moving backward to rest in that, which is the consciousness itself. And the nature of the consciousness is conscious and empty. Empty. Right now, who we are is full of ideas. When we are full of ideas, we are ignoring who we are. We're ignoring our own true nature, which is empty. So we are contradicting ourselves. We're denying who we are. And because of the denial, life is suffering right now. Our life is moving outwardly only, ignoring the truth. And when we are moving outwardly, that outward journey is ego driven journey. It's like a go journey. The ego makes us move forward non-stop. And this movement, go movement, is coming from our environmental influence. Our world is influencing us to go, move forward. Not just that, go fast, make things fast, fast and bigger. That's the trend in the world. Faster and bigger is advancement. And that go go movement is making you suffer, isn't it? Especially life in the city is go go. If you don't push yourself, you have the perception that you're going to miss out the opportunity. And because of this perception, which is the ego perception, is making you to be in that pace. And look, being in that pace, what's your life right now? Is it struggle, pain, fear, or joy? When you're making things in your life, yes, you see the joy. But just to get that peak experience of joy, you are torturing yourself, isn't it? Life doesn't have to be that. Life can be on the outside movement. Life can be a minimum effort and maximum result. But to get to that, to maintain that flow, you have to be aware of the pattern world. The outside world is all about pattern. You recognize the pattern and you invite the pattern and you condition yourself in that pattern to connect the dots to make things happen. So awareness is your friend to see the pattern, to connect with the pattern. And that's how you pulsate in the world. So that's the outer movement. And the outer movement is non-stop, because even you achieve something, there's a desire for more, desire for further upgrade, desire for better experience. And this is simply an ego driven experience. When the ego is playing the game, it's never enough. And when it's never enough, life is suffering. Instead of experiencing with joy, or rather than enjoying life, we are struggling in life just because of our own ego, just because of the belief that we copy from the world. And look, if you look at the world, is the world really happy? Are people really happy from the movement they are in, from the trend they are maintaining? Not really. Everyone's life is full of fear. So when the world is moving in that order, the next generation and the next generation is going to copy that and follow that, and life is going to be never ending struggle and pain and fear. So because of the pain, now we start to get interested in the spirituality, to be free, hoping to balance life. And sure, spirituality can make you free from your fear, free from the pain. You can find balance. But how to get to that is the truth. Truth, once you see the truth, then you can know how to balance your life. The inward seeking ends and the outer movement is will be a balanced approach. But until the truth is seen, there's always fear in life, and fear is not balance. Fear makes you lose balance. approach. So, anyway, the simple path to figure out the truth is by sitting with yourself and meditating on yourself. Now, meditating on yourself means you're watching yourself, being self aware, and deconstructing the mind. Why deconstructing the mind? Because right now, you are the mind. No matter how upgraded mind you have accumulated, notice that it's not freedom, isn't it? No matter how much upgraded mind you have, it's not freedom. So mind also, not just the freedom, but mind is also fear. Basically, fear is the byproduct of the mind. So, journey to figure out the truth is using the mind, not throwing away the mind. You listen to the mind, isn't it? But every time you listen to the mind, most of the time, you are suffering. So, mind is making you suffer. An enlightenment journey is about examining the mind. You listen to the mind. Now, you want to understand, you want to see why you listen to the mind. Not just that, you want to figure out what's the nature of the mind. Right now, you may also see mind is true. If the mind is true, again, there's a contradiction, isn't it? There's a fear holding onto the mind. So if you see the mind is true, then how come it contradicts when you see the fear? If you don't see the contradiction, fear is the contradiction. So when there's a contradiction, the mind cannot be truth. So sit with yourself without anything, without manipulating the body, without manipulating the mind. Just sit with yourself without any mental layers. This is again the straightforward path. Sit with yourself, and again, you're able to sit for a certain time, but things start to boil up when you're sitting with nothing. Because sitting with nothing is not your habit. It's not your routine. So the body starts to itch, the mind starts to itch, the conditioning starts to resurface in you when you sit with yourself without nothing. And that's a good thing, because we want the itch to resurface in you, resurface in your consciousness. And then we can utilize that to create a real inward journey. So sit with yourself when the discomfort starts to happen, when you start to experience the discomfort, when the discomfort starts to make you stop the practice. Now, watch yourself. What is making you break this practice? To break the practice of watching yourself starts with an idea, isn't it? The idea starts to come in. Maybe the idea of boredom. Maybe the idea of urgency that you need to do something. Whatever idea resurfaces in you, now use that idea. Why do I have this idea in me? Or why this idea is triggering me to stop the practice of witnessing myself? That's it. Sit with the question. So from witnessing yourself, now you're witnessing and questioning. Questioning is the way to create that inward journey to figure out the root cause of our fluctuation, root cause of our suffering, root cause of our fear. So the idea comes out, resurface in you, you ask yourself why this idea is making me break the practice. Why? Now, when you ask why, there should be a reason, right? There's a reason. That's why you want to cut the practice. You want to stop the practice. You see the reason. Now, why is that important? Second, why? Why is that important? And when you ask why is that important, now there's another answer, another reason. And when you see another reason, you do the same thing. Why is that important? So just simply use why. No matter what answer resurfaces, use the why until you see the root cause of that surface fluctuation. And then when you see the root, then you have to dismantle the root as well. The root itself is the fear. Fear of missing out. Fear of missing out makes you give up your practice, to stop the practice. You feel the boredom because inward journey is sitting with yourself and away from fun. The world is fun. The world is coloring. The world colors your consciousness. So you like the coloring. You like the dynamic of the world. So moving out is fun. Connecting with another human being is fun. Yes, it's fun. And because of the fun, you stop the practice. And that fun is the root cause of attaching to the fun is fear of missing out. And the fear of missing out is also the fear of being nobody. And who feels the fear of being nobody? Your ego self. Your ego wants to move out. Ego wants to color the consciousness. The ego wants to go through the experience, upgraded experience, and which is you, isn't it? Right now, when you don't see the truth of who you are is the ego self, the conditioned self, which is the ingrained belief in you. So, simple path to figure out the truth of who you are is sit with yourself and experience the discomfort. And then once you experience the discomfort, you trace your discomfort back to figure out the root. Once you see the root, and then you have to dismantle the root as well. Why? Because the spiritual freedom or figuring out the truth of who you are is about giving up all identification. Holding on to any identification is denial of the truth. You must give up all mental identification to see yourself. So it's about giving up, letting go of all mental identification. So when you see the root must be dismantled. So this is the simple journey without relying on another human being, without relying on any techniques. This is the meditation that is effective, 100% effective. This will help you settle in the body. Not just that, this will help you understand your mind. Understanding the mind is crucial to wake up to the truth of who you are. You have to understand the nature of the mind. You have to see the nature of the mind, how it how it come, how it becomes real. So, it's important to see the nature of the mind. How to see the nature of the mind, to understand the mind is through the dismantling work, tracing back work. Okay. Anyway, waking up to the truth doesn't take that long, and the path is very simple. It's about witnessing yourself, deconstructing your mind, or examining the mind, which is uh, tracing the mind backward work, and asking yourself, who am I? That's all you need. You don't have to believe me. Don't believe me. Uh, you try it. Until you try it, everything is an idea, and idea is another mental layer, keeps you away from the truth of who you are. So reference is needed in the spiritual journey. After receiving the reference, what is left is everybody has to do the part of moving inward. So if any the path that you have chosen is not leading you inward all the way to truth, here's the solution: self-inquiry. Trace your mind backward. Okay. Okay, anyway, that's all in this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now. Bye.